My dad's place and my people from my dad's side is the Suka people of the New Britain, East New Britain province of Papua New Guinea. And my mom, from my mom, New Island place is the Korohi Korohi Lon Loon from the New Island province. Yes, my research topic is Keknen Ruk Tenik, which is in Sulka. O is plural for anything if you speak in Sulka language, and Keknen means ways. In Tok Pisin we say Pasin, and Ruk Tenik in Sulka means of the past, of before. So O Keknen Ruk Tenik means ways of the past, and the past is also metaphorically used in Sulka language to refer to ancestors. So if you put the Keknen Ruk Tenik, it also means that ways of the ancestors or ways of the past. And of course what I'm doing is writing about this ritual feast, this Lukara, as an insider, using autoethnography as my method of study. And this uses my experience plus whatever literature that is available with the knowledge of the elders that I've recently interviewed. So putting all this together, if someone comes from outside, may read about it and may say this is not traditional. If someone comes from outside, you may have the risk of misunderstanding and misinterpretation of cultural knowledge, because things changes over time. But for people like the Sulka, you have this tradition in terms of transmission. You have them transmitting those traditions or passing those traditions orally over thousands of years. And there's something that when we write about tradition, we kind of put a boundary. Things that comes after what we write is totally not traditional. But when you talk about tradition in a local context, maybe the time is now. Tradition is here and now, and changes happens with the overall social process of the society. So I think that's the aim, to talk about tradition in terms of Lukara from the perspective of the Sulka people. Makaing is for young girls when they reach puberty. For the boys, when they reach puberty, they have to go through Tawa. They are now ready to be to have a partner in future. So after that, you have another Lukara, which is the marital right, married Lukara, which the husband and the wife, or the bride and the bridegroom side, exchanges pigs, exchanges sell money. And then after married, of course, what I'm explaining is a kind of rite of passage. So you have the Lukaras for all those different times that a person go through. And then you have the mourning rite, which is we call mohi. When a person dies, of course, you have relatives who come and who mourn with the relatives, the immediate family of the deceased. And they help in whatever ways they can. And then after the mourning, you have now prepare for the big one, which is Nek. Nek is basically to compensate those who have assisted during the mourning period, as well as to give back. In the past, we give back the bones of the deceased back to the clan relatives during Nek. But now, of course, things have changed, so we don't have the bones now. We kind of do a feast, but you give the pig and the food and the sell money back to the relatives instead of the bones. All right, so these are all the Lukaras that perform. Women will sing first, and then the Tumbuan will come. And while the Tumbuan is on its way, the Tumbuan dancers are on their way, men will accompany them with kavres songs. We call them kavres songs. Now, kavres songs is a kind of stimulant songs that will psych you up for the performance. So they bring the mass dancers with the kavres songs, and in response to the women calling them. You may have songs talking about this, the relationship, and people singing, wanting to be in relation to this particular plant. For example, if I see a particular kind of plant and I admire the color of the leaves, I would like myself to be, people to see me that way. So it's like relating to nature. All right, the spirit songs are called kot, and these songs basically have text that talks about spirits. It's according to tales, according to myths, kind of acknowledging that we live in this environment, that we have these other spirits as well. Those that help us, those that we relate to in good terms, and those that we know that they are there, and depending on our relationship, if we make or do something that will cause them do harm to us, then we sing about them, kind of reminding us of our environment, spiritual environment. The same thing goes similar with the animals, telling, of course, acknowledging the animals in the surrounding environment, and of course, sometimes some of the Sukas and the Suka clans, individual Suka clans may also have a relationship with particular animals. So you're singing about this animal, you are again acknowledging and again affirming this relationship. And the flying fox, of course, it's something to do with that Sulka myth, that in the past there was an island that only women live, and there was no men, and women have marital relationship with the flying fox. So the flying fox taught the women these songs and the dances, and they basically dance them during the main feast celebrations. This status of being somebody like who can compose, and in the traditional way, you have to be somebody that you have a special relationship with the spirits, you have the special relationship with the unseen environment, I would say. And then from there, and of course there are things that you learn, and there are things that during initiations you learn from the experts that will enable you to see things that the naked eyes cannot see. Sometimes songs and dance can be seen in dreams. This is a particular aspect of the culture that is dying out, because now the experts are not around, they are all gone. People slept and dreamed spirits or animals teaching them songs, and when they wake up from their dreams, they begin singing and they begin dancing. So then they teach the others.